Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly, and today I bring you 5 ways that you can save a little bit of money doing scrapbooking. So as you know, scrapbooking can get a little bit expensive and things can add up pretty quickly. So hopefully I can bring you some ideas on how you can save just a little bit of money, especially if you are a beginner crafter. So printing pictures can add up quickly, especially if you print as many pictures as I do. So using an app friendly for pictures always saves you a lot of money. For example, you can find an app that will do unlimited free prints and all you do is pay for shipping. And in reality, you are, yes, of course, or paying for the pictures, but it saves you a lot of money if you average it out, like for example comparing to a pharmacy that you go and pick it up in an hour. Those are like 20 cents a print compared to if you get the free ones and you pay for the shipping and then you divide the shipping between how many pictures you got, you end up paying like 7 cents or 8 cents per picture type of thing, you know, when you're comparing with the shipping. Also, I am very picky with my pictures in terms of quality of paper, so I really don't like printing my pictures on glossy paper. As you can see, these ones, I feel like the glossy pictures, when you put them on your albums, you have to be very careful because they will, if they are back to back, let's say you close this page and they're back to back, with time they probably will end up sticking to each other. So instead, I really like printing my pictures on matte, and I don't know if you can tell the texture difference between the shiny gloss and the matte. Maybe because of the lighting and the camera, it looks kind of very similar, but this one, it's a lot different. You won't get the fingerprinting on the images as you would with the glossy, so I love printing this way. So another tip will be to print a bunch of pictures as one. If you're using those free prints and only pay for shipping, it's better if you send like 100 at a time. So you know, instead of sending, look how cute this picture is, instead of sending like 20 at a time, because if you said 20, you're gonna pay like $4 for shipping, as if you pay send 100, you are going to pay like $7 for shipping. So when you do the math, it really does save you a lot of money. Another option, if you print a lot of pictures and you don't need a full-size picture, is before you send your pictures to print, do a collage. So for example, I love doing these collages. I just use any photo app that will do collage. I think I use Pic Collage, and there's also Pic Monkey, one of those. And so you collage the picture before you send it to print. You can send it out to print, you can print it yourself. Now I do have the selfie Canon, and it does it is a little bit expensive to replace if you're gonna print like 100 pictures. Yes, it's more expensive, but if you do a little collage and just print this one out, then it really saves you time and money because you're just printing little ones and you can use them right away in there. When you send them out to print like an app like Shutterfly or any of those, it does take probably about a week for you to get them, which, you know, sometimes when you're impatient, it could be a long time. The Walgreens apps or any CVS pharmacy or Costco that you can pick up in an hour, yeah, it's more convenient, it is more expensive, and also the quality of the paper is not what I prefer. So foam dots. Foam dots, it's another way where you can save a lot of money by just using different things that you have hanging on your craft room, like scrap pieces of cardstock. You can layer on top of each other. You can use chipboard, because I always use a lot of chipboard to make my mini album covers. I always have these long random pieces of chipboard left, so I use those to create dimension into my projects without having to buy foam dots. Now foam dots start to add up or even the long foam tape, because I think they're like $5 per roll, and oh my goodness, the way I use them, it will be insane how much money I will spend on that. So I will show you here an example of my Alice in Wonderland, and you will see that this has a lot of dimension. Now if you look on the inside, I am using 2 or 3 layers of this chipboard just glued on top of each other. And yeah, so then I'm doing layers under Alice, then I'm doing, and I do have 3 under Alice because she's kind of pop up a little more. The queen only has 1 layer, the teapot here has 2 layers, so you just play around. Same thing with this Halloween and Wonderland. So you know, it saves you a lot of money to use some chipboard, or maybe some of your scrap pieces of cardstock like this. Just kind of fold them, cut them up, and create some dimension using that. Scrapbook paper, that is probably the biggest way to spend money when it comes to crafting. If you're anything like me, you're obsessed with paper, you want every collection, and yes. So I do want to say, number one, pick something that you know you're going to use, and be wise about how you spend your money, because next thing you know, you end up like me with piles of paper that you probably don't have enough lifetime to use. Look out for sales. I think the biggest sale, if you really want to buy the latest and greatest, for example, this one I got as a bundle. Bundles are great ways to save. Now, another way to save is to take advantage of promotions. For example, most stores will do free shipping if you do a minimum purchase. So I typically try to combine or save all the beautiful papers that I want to get and just do one order and take advantage of the free shipping, because shipping tends to add up quickly, especially if you're buying in 1 or 2 papers at a time. I started crafting. I definitely started mainly with Michael's. Michael has this amazing hat buy line that comes every once in a while. They always get new papers. So now the papers are typically $20 a pack, and Michael's does offer a 40% off coupon. However, to me, that's still kind of pricey to pay $12 for a paper. So just wait for those sales. The hat by paper goes down to like $7 a pack. Another way to get your favorite scrapbook papers is the store called Tuesday Morning. When I discovered the store, I was in heaven. From time to time, they will have these amazing papers that, number one, they're not brand new. They're probably been out for a year, but they were completely sold out everywhere else, and then they come back and it's like crafty heaven for me. So a lot of crafters will kind of show Tuesday morning sales or updates or new papers on their YouTube feeds, and when you see those, make sure you go, because the papers go quite quickly. Now, don't become obsessed like me and buy everything you see. Kind of pick the one that you are actually going to use for a project on the, in the near future. Now, digital paper is a great way to save money, just because they are typically cheaper than a paper collection, and you can print them as many times as you like, and you can print them as, by whatever you need. If you need 3 sheets for that or 4 sheets for that, so you don't have to waste your ink. Another point that I want to make when buying scrapbook paper is try to support the smaller stores as much as you can, because when you support the smaller stores, you're supporting a dream. Also, typically the owner has already selected the most beautiful papers to bring to the store, instead of just carrying everything in large amounts. And I have really good stories with smaller stores compared to large stores, and I'm gonna give you a quick example. For example, I ordered something at scrapbook.com, and don't get me wrong, I love that store, but this was a collection that looked amazing to me, and the price was really good, and it was on pre-sale, so I went and got it. But then once it wasn't on pre-sale and every store was carrying the collections and everybody was getting it, I was so disappointed that I didn't get mine, even though I ordered like a month ahead of everybody, a month ahead of them actually being there. So you kind of stuck buying it sometimes, because then, yeah, so I guess because they made the sale, then they were just shipping out last. I don't know, that was just my experience one time, but I kind of stopped buying there just because I was very disappointed. My next point will be flowers. Now, flowers are beautiful. They comes on all different colors and sizes, and you always want to get the prettiest ones to match up with your project. So flowers tend up to add up pretty quickly. I mean, each set of flowers is like $6-7, typically just anywhere, because that is just the price of them. Sometimes you're lucky enough to find them at Tuesday morning for $2, but for the most part you end up paying a good amount of money for flowers. So my suggestion will be to kind of invest on some flower dies or punches. So flower dies and punches and stamps and dies type of set like these ones, they are a little bit more pricey, but you have to keep in mind you're gonna pay the price one time, and typically they come in different sizes such as this. So it really does save you a lot of money, because then you get to make your own flowers. You can color them the color you want, and you can use them as many times as you want. So even though you're investing the price ahead of time, on the long term it saves you a little bit of money. So the flowers, dies, and stamps kind of brings me to my last point. So crafting with friends. Crafting with friends is a great way, and I'm gonna give you something to look at so you don't look at my hands only. Crafting with friends is a great way to save money, just because you guys are going to not just have a great time, but you can share your dies, you share your stamps, you share your knowledge, and it's just so much fun. And then if you live far away from your crafty friends, maybe no one around you, it's an active crafter, you can always join some Facebook groups or just start a pen pal club. So you kind of just cut a bunch of die shapes and neutral colors and just send them to your friends, and then they'll send you something back, and that's a great way to share your dies. If you have the option to craft with your friends, I'll definitely suggest doing that. It's so much fun. So I hope that you guys enjoy these quick little tips on how to save money. I think those are things that have worked for me. I do want to say, when we become crafters, we just like everything and anything, and I know by experience that we get obsessed with the newest things, but pick something that you really like. For example, I really like paper. I'm obsessed with paper and I like it, and I have the fear that I will never see this paper again, so I have to have it. I know it's a problem, but at least I'm only like that with paper. So I'm not obsessed with stamps, I'm not obsessed with dies. So yeah, so pick something that you like. Don't become obsessed with everything. And then also use your products. Don't be afraid of using this beautiful expensive paper that you just got, and so because it does nothing sitting on the shelves. It does nothing for you, compared to if you use it and put your beautiful pictures on it. It will make you feel much better that you actually put in your money to use. So I really hope that you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave it on the description box. And I want to thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.